Well, Collingwood supporters are rejoicing tonight after the club's greatest players avenged their loss against North Melbourne in the 1977 Grand Final. In a replay of the replay at Arden Street this afternoon, the players who participated in one of football's most famous games did it all again, just for the fun of it.
What's this laughing?
Oh, makes me look thin.
What about Maury's out there? He's all keen. Will you get away?
They were quite literally larger than life. The champs of the 70s regrouped for this very special rendezvous. First quarter and the Maggies, kicking with the wind, did what they couldn't do in 77 in either grand final, raced to an early lead. The super coach looked worried.
Drag him, Brett. He's letting bloody the Hulk run. I'm trying to pick him up. Keeping that together, breaking himself. Crackers here pouring out his heart.
Second term and still the Roos were running ragged. The mind knew what had to be done. The body, though, failed to respond. Half-time and it was the Maggies by 36 points.
It's not good enough.
Third quarter and things tightened up a little. Mostly old muscles. Like 12 years ago, the Pies' best of field was one Phil Manasseh. Maybe there weren't any magical bursts, just mini ones this time.
This is it. Go the boundary. We haven't played for 12 years. We don't have to play for another 12.
That desperate address, apart from a new pair of pins, was just what the doctor ordered for the Maggies. Instead of attacking a lead as they did in 77, they were forced to defend one. And they did it. Only just, though, the Pies home today by a point.
I can't walk me. I don't know about tomorrow.
Today, the champs of yesteryear staged a 1977 Grand Final replay. And as Peter Donegan reports, the big crowd was treated to another thrilling finish.
And he's put it through and scores it.
Since Twiggy Dunn's historic kick in the 77 Grand Final, the waistlines have expanded. The hairlines have gone in the opposite direction, but the enthusiasm for the game obviously hasn't dulled. Even umpire Ian Robinson was feeling the pinch.
It's a big game, yes. I'm very uptight, but, we'll manage when we get out there.
I'm worried about Peter Moore. He's fit. I've never seen a bloke like him anyway. Make any difference if he starts to beat me, I'm going to belt him in the gob.
I'm having a kick out at St Albans, as you know, and my training out there constitutes about 25 minutes a week.
Have you been putting in plenty of training for this?
No.
The boys are they're very keen to play well today, and even though they look a bit overweight, I think they sure will have a go.
As for the likely outcome, it seemed a little strange that everyone thought
It'll be a draw.
Well, hopefully it'll be a draw.
I think we'll have a draw.
North burst through their banner. George Bissett wondered why he hadn't cleaned his boots. Crackers looked as though he should have been on crutches, and Kinky looked bigger than he did in the rooms. And then it was on. The game provided some memorable highlights, including Phil Manasseh trying for another run. Brent Croswell was reported, and his penalty was one less can after the game. But perhaps the biggest highlight, Ron Barassi smiled during a game of footy. Xavier Tanner's goal in the dying minutes put North to within a point, but this time Collingwood was the victor. But hang on, that scoreboard doesn't add up. The goal umpires, though, declared the score correct, meaning Collingwood's bribe was obviously bigger than North's. Even though it's a well-worn cliche, the real winner today was football. Peter Donegan, Eyewitness News.
You know, the saying goes, old footballers never die, they just become commentators. Well, that's not quite right. As we discovered last weekend, a lot of old footballers just become fat. This discovery was made by thousands upon thousands of footy fans who turned out to witness a game of footy like no other. It was a replay of the drawn grand final of 1977. Almost all those men who played for North Melbourne and Collingwood in that historic match more than a decade ago came back to do it all again, just for the fun of it.
If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day till eternity passes away.
Time, said D.H. Lawrence, evaporates like spilled wine, quickly and unnoticed. So it was this day. 12 years on, the waistlines may have thickened, the hairlines may have thinned, but little else had changed. Barassi thought he was still the boss.
Hey, what's this laughing?
Keenan was still crackers.
Cheeser, you ugly man! You gotta look after us, Craig. What about Maury's out there? He's all keen.
King's bulk was still incredible.
Will you get away?
And the same rules still apply.
It's got to be as serious as the occasion demands. Having said all that, we
have to win.
They were back, 12 years older, just how much wiser, who knows, to remember, reminisce, replay only the second drawn grand final in VFL history. It was all quite literally larger than life.
Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We'd live the life we chose, we'd fight and never lose. Those were the days, oh yes, those were the days. La, 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 la.
Quarter time, and the Pies had what they didn't have in 77, apart from grown kids and a mortgage, an early lead. The super coach looked worried.
No, drag him, Brett. He's letting bloody the hog run. I'm trying to pick him up and keeping that together, breaking myself. Crackers here pouring out his heart.
More like sharing a heart attack. In the second term, the giggles had been replaced by groans, the smiles by shooting pain. This wasn't as much fun anymore.
Crackers, you'd play better if you took notice of what the coach said. How am I? 40?
I feel like 46.
The greatest risk to take is to take no risk at all. Somebody once said that.
We read your book.
Wrong. The greatest risk here was of a coronary. Third quarter and things tightened up a little, mostly old muscles. Like 12 years ago, the best of field was one Phil Manasseh. Maybe there weren't any magical bursts this time, just mini ones.
When I get older, losing my head, many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine? Birthday greetings, bottle of wine. If I've been out till 2:45, would you lock the door? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
This is it. Go the boundary. We haven't played for 12 years. We don't have to play for another 12.
That desperate address, apart from a new pair of pins, was just what the doctor ordered for the Pies. They, dare I say, gutsed it out in the last quarter to win by a point. Like 12 years ago, they collapsed from exhaustion at the end. But these bodies are used to that now.
If I only had time, only time, so much to do. If I only had time, if I only had time, dreams to pursue. If I only had time, they'd be mine.
Looked as though your mind still knew what it wanted to do. Just the legs.
The body doesn't want to know.
Mind works all right, but the body after 12 years not the same.
Are you going to be able to walk tomorrow?
I can't walk now. I don't know about tomorrow. Very sore.
If I only had time, only time.
Lovely stuff. It's quite amazing how young punks over the years turn into wonderful elder statesmen for their sport.